Dallas penthouse studios of News Talk 1070 KMTH, this is The Price is Right. This is The Price of Business. Author of the hugely influential Empowerment to the People, award-winning, nationally syndicated columnist Kevin Price brings a fresh perspective to business news and the events that shape our lives. And now, here is the star of The Price of Business, Kevin Price.
Good evening, I am Kevin Price, and this is The Price of Business. Delighted to be with you as always. And as always, we have a lot to talk about on today's show. Coming up later on the program, we're going to be talking about the big debate that took place last night in Arizona between the Republican candidates. It's amazing, 20-something debates, and you'd think by now those debates would somehow get good, but they're not. They're getting worse. Every one of them is worse than the one before, and none of them seem to be able to handle front-runner status very well. Mr. Santorum really having a difficult time with that. So, but we'll talk about that and what it means. And but in this segment, we're going to tee off with a great conversation about business with a cool company called MyShamrockIT.com. Susan Casillas is our guest, and Susan, good to see you.
Good morning, Kevin. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we met recently, in fact, over at the Houston West Chamber of Commerce over there for their Big Star Awards. Our media was a finalist for those awards. We were the bridesmaid rather than the bride, but we were delighted to be a part of that whole process. I was glad to get to meet you and delighted to hear you were coming on our show, and good to see you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Real quickly, so someone were to ask you, what is MyShamrockIT.com all about? Kind of give us that overview.
Sure. Well, we're a women-owned on-site IT services company. We cater to the small to medium business because we feel they're the most underserved. And we set their ITs, their systems, their networks, their computers, we set them up for success. We help them find the free stuff that they can use and help them stretch their IT dollars so they can look like the big company without having to spend the big company dollars.
Without the big company cost.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about the free stuff, you're talking about a lot of shareware and public domain type ware and that type of thing. Which there's, you sit there and you do a search for that kind of information, and you get thousands and thousands of options, but you really don't know which ones are going to be safe on your computer. It's like a gambling. So you do the homework to make sure that whatever they're putting on is stuff that's going to be quality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of homework, research, and development on all the open source products that are out there.
Okay. How big is your company?
Well, right now we're a small company too. We just have a couple of techs and myself, and we're in that growth mode. So it's really exciting for us.
So in addition to being an owner, you are the face, the voice,
and I'm the voice.
Yeah, the marketing person for it. That's great. And how old is the company?
They've been in LLC for over a year now.
Okay.
We celebrated our 1 year anniversary in January.
So tell us about the types of companies in terms of domain expertise that are clients of yours.
Well, the main industry verticals that we're dealing with are medical, financial, industrial, and professional. So we're dealing with, on the professional side, real estate, brokers, CPAs, lawyers, and things like that. On the industrial side, we have companies that have warehouses and need also video camera expertise in that area as well. And then, of course, the medical industry and the financial industry.
What is the typical size of these companies?
Typically they either have somewhere between 20 to 50 employees or be at least at $3 million a year in gross revenue.
Okay. And you answer so quickly. It's like you trained, you practiced in advance.
Yeah, I did.
So kind of tell me how your protocol works. I mean, there's some companies out there where a client's website essentially, or their computer rather, their desk page there is actually on the vendor's page, the IT page. Are you able to do that type of virtual? Kind of tell me how that works.
Well, we're more on the hardware side of things. Okay, so for the web designs and things like that we consult with somebody else. And of course, I can always refer that business. But what we do is we come in and we offer a free IT hardware, software, virtual systems consultation.
Okay.
So I go in and I'll talk to the decision maker while my IT guy is assessing their environment to see what they might be having to look at as far as maybe possible catastrophes and things like that. And so then we sit down with them and I get their wish list, and then we offer them different programs for managed services on our part. Our definition is where they buy a block of time, and then the time they don't use rolls over, so they can help budget for large IT projects.
Oh, interesting. That's a little different. I know that there's some that have a flat fee that they pay every single month, and and if they never have any problem with it after 6 months, they're like going, "What am I paying that for?" But I paid for that anyway, and so that's kind of interesting. So they essentially buy minutes. and which is kind of a fairly common online concept these days.
Yeah.
And those minutes carry forward based on usage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure, because we don't want to pay for stuff we don't use, and we don't want to do that to our customers.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I can see where that's particularly helpful for a smaller company. What is the typical situation of a client of yours when they become a client of yours?
Well, as much as we try to make people be proactive with their system, and it makes sense to them, but most people wait until there's a catastrophe, and so our initial consultation is usually a break fix, where we have to come in for a virus or something that failed in the system.
Mm-hmm. And then when you come in and you say, hey, you know what, in the future you could actually have this taken care of in advance, essentially insurance, but insurance that only costs you when you're using it. I mean, I think that's pretty clever. I like that, and that might be the next step in the whole retainer environment that's taking place.
I think all across the board in every industry, people are looking to just pay for what they use.
Yeah. Are there situations where there were IT people that were regular parts of their staff, and they no longer want to have that as an internal part of their organization from a liability perspective? Because obviously you're a 1099 versus a W-2, and there's certain legal advantages to that.
Oh, there's a lot of advantages to that. So yes, that takes place, and also a lot of times the IT guys outsource to us to help them with other projects that they have to take care of as well.
Yeah, her name is Susan Casillas, and her company is called MyShamrockIT.com. That's MyShamrockIT.com, and the number over there is 832-838-3300, 832-838-3300. She's also a member, as I mentioned at the very beginning, at Houston West Chamber of Commerce, and we always ask the Chamber to bring great companies to us we can talk about on the radio, and you're just such an example. So we're delighted you could be here with about a minute left. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, I want to invite everybody to go to our website and click on the leprechaun jumping out of the pot of gold to find out where our next pot of gold is that we're going to raffle off today, as I gave you a gift today, Kevin, of our pot of gold, which is worth $50 in gold coins, actual gold coins.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was excited to see the pot of gold when you brought it in, and then I was even more excited to see actual money in that. You got to love that. So I'm being bribed here, but I love it. It's a great gift.
Did it work?
It did. Yeah, absolutely. So I love it. MyShamrockIT.com. Go ahead and. It's a leprechaun, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Click that leprechaun. Don't let them get away. Don't let them get off the screen.
Right.
So click that leprechaun. Find out where the next giveaway is going to be, the next raffle. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to have much, much more for you. So stay tuned to it right here on The Price of Business.
We want you to know that the old methods to get